Hey guys, welcome back. So yet again, there has been another former worker who has spoken out against Harry and Meghan. According to a royal photographer who was subjected to having to work with the Sussexes, he has spoken out and he has basically said that it was very depressing to work with them. He found it extremely hard, and in the end he decided to actually terminate his employment. Let me get into this very short article, and this is going to be a short, quick one because it's not really a shock for anyone listening to this that Meghan was extremely very dismissive, and I want to use the A word, towards her members of employment, her members of staff, and we can all see what type of character that she really has behind the facade of being really fabulous, being really nice, presenting herself as a woman of colour, a full black woman. And of course, I am a full black woman, so I just find it quite irritating to see her masquerading as this completely new person, presenting herself as a nice person when there's far too many accounts of her being quite toxic, quite cruel, and quite aggressive in her personal life, and dismissive of those who do not serve her personal interests. So let me get into this. Photographer admits working with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle was extremely depressing. Prince Harry was said to have gotten more miserable after meeting Meghan. A royal photographer has admitted that working with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle was a very depressing experience. Speaking on I've Got News for You podcast, Arthur Edwards spoke on his relationship with the royal family, which he shared had grown beyond his profession alone. However, after the Duke of Sussex met Meghan Markle, Arthur said that he had felt uncomfortable being around the couple. Camilla would always say hello, Kate always said hello, and William, yes, they always said hello. They were all very friendly, and so was Harry. Harry was extremely friendly and happy to work with him until he met Meghan. Well, Milk Bottle, of course, is a very miserable character. So he goes on to say he became very, very distant towards him, and he became almost, well, it was extremely miserable, he said. In fact, in the end, I didn't even bother doing Harry's tours. I didn't do Harry's tour of Australia, at least not with Meghan. I didn't do Harry's tour of South Africa with Meghan either. I just find it very depressing with them. They just hated the media, and it was so miserable. I ducked out on them and sort of went with Charles to New Zealand and, you know, happier places like that. That's where the article ends, because I think that, of course, he is a royal photographer. He wants to stay in work. And so he is extremely limited as to how much he can actually say. And I don't blame him. I personally feel as though as soon as Harry took up this relationship with this woman, he became very dark and very toxic. Now, Harry had his negative times in the royal firm. He had his struggles. He had his trials and tribulations in the firm, but he was never this dark and this miserable. He now has become this almost Harry Potter Voldemort type character who always overshadows anything that's nice. Now, the royal firm is going to be having a Golden Jubilee, a major celebration for the Queen for all of her years of service. And you can see that Kate has been out and about, and we are all extremely excited to see them have this celebration and to watch the procession. Meghan and Harry, on the other hand, I imagine have a PR plan that is set to, well, at least they're going to attempt to overshadow all of the positive works and the positive things that the royal family is going to be doing. The Queen is in an extremely fragile state, but all they seem to want to do is make everyone miserable and make everyone depressed. The irony of all of the darkness and the misery that they bring to everyone else's lives who are associated with them in any way, shape or form is that everything that they said they hated about their jobs as senior royals is everything that they do. But of course, it's in a very self-serving way. They said they want to have a life of service. They said that they want to serve the public, which is a complete lie. But what they really wanted to do was serve themselves and get awards for it. Now, I personally feel, as a black woman, watching them receive that NAACP award for, I don't know what they received it for, because they haven't done anything for anyone else but themselves for the last 2 years. I just don't know what their purpose is, and it just seems as though Meghan Markle only wanted the glamour. She only wanted to show up and get awards and get praised once every 6 months. She doesn't do day-to-day duties like Kate and William. They're always out there. That is what a life of public service is. Yeah, they live off of us. They live off of the taxpayer and all of the wealth that the royal firm has accrued over centuries. You know, this is a dynasty that has been going on for decades. But in all reality of it, they are of public service, and that's what it's really about. Meghan and Harry, on the other hand, it's really quite vulgar, isn't it, to receive an award for something that is your job, that you should be doing anyway. They want to get a pat on the back for doing the bare minimum, and they're not really inspiring others' lives. She hasn't healed the rift with her family, and it's all just very chaotic. And when they are in front of the cameras, they're grinning from ear to ear, yet they proclaimed they wanted to have a private life. They felt anxiety about photographers. This is a new phobia that Harry just suddenly developed when he got with Meghan, and it's just quite depressing. As this photographer said, their narrative is depressing and they're uninspiring, and their war that they have raged against the royal firm is an unnecessary one. It's just a complete joke. So I'm not surprised that this photographer has said that, and I'm not surprised that he didn't want to work with them. And then of course there's this ongoing lawsuit with the former royal aides who claimed that during their time when they was working with Meghan Markle, she was extremely exploitative. I can't use the A word, the A, B, U, and you know the rest, because otherwise it will be flagged on this platform. But all I can really say is that it's not the first time. There's also another photographer who was hired by Meghan Markle when she was trying to build her profile, get more work in Canada after her career had flopped in Hollywood. And he said that he really struggled to work with her and he found it quite depressing as well, and that she was really, really rude, and she made it very clear that he was the help. And she also made it very, very clear that he was less than her, at least that she felt he was less than her. She spoke down to him. She never said hello. She never said goodbye. And she just treated him like he was a subordinate, inferior, subservient human being who wasn't worthy of her respect. It's sad, isn't it, really? But in this world is filled with people who are like that, and you will encounter them in your life. So I will be back with another video, guys.